Hello everyone, Kelvinator here and welcome to another Mastering MFL video. And today I want to talk about the real value of MFL. How much is MFL really worth? In the past I made a video already explaining what MFL itself is, but now I want to talk about the value because also this changes and I think it has changed a lot. So, little introduction, we start off with repeating what is MFL, super short for the people who don't know, for some new users who maybe have not seen my video about that. Then we talk about the official versus the real value of MFL. And if you know this real value, how does it impact your gameplay, your decision making? What do you do with your MFL rewards? Do you spend them on packs or do you then open the packs or sell the packs? And what about buying and selling players, etc.? I want to talk about a couple scenarios. And as always, we end with a conclusion. So, super short, what is MFL? It is the in-game currency of MFL. You cannot buy it, sell it, trade it, exchange it. You can only get it by playing MFL. You can only earn it by playing MFL, participating in leagues and in cups. Sometimes also we give it away on pack drop streams or maybe by some other custom tournaments. But the main thing is the league and the cup. And of course, what can you do with it is buying reward packs, player reward packs. And you can only buy those with MFL. Drop packs you can also buy with MFL, but also with normal money, US dollars. And also MFL you can spend on the dev center, on player development in the dev center, and to enter certain tournaments, some custom tournaments as an entry fee. So, very short recap. Now, what is the official value and what is the real value? So, if you read the white paper, everyone should read the white paper. If you haven't done so, go to whitepaper.playmfl.com. But in the white paper, when they talk about the economy and about MFL, there is one big graphic that says $1 equals 800 MFL. So, that is the exchange rate or kind of the valuation they use, the team uses. But because of the popularity of MFL and the demand, this has changed a little bit over the course of the season since MFL has been released and the new reward structures have been released. So how do I know that and why has it changed? So we just got our rewards like 1.5 weeks ago. We received our MFL rewards and the store opened and we could buy some reward packs. So I've been selling a couple of those packs. I also opened some packs. But if you look at for how much MFL I buy a pack and for how much I sell it, the real exchange rate is about 200 to 220 MFL for each US dollar. For example, a common reward pack that costs 600 MFL, I've sold them between 280 to 3 US dollars. A limited 3k MFL, I sold them for 15 USD. And uncommon, which is worth, which you can buy for 10k MFL, is worth 46.50 USD. That is like a price I got for it. Some people got higher, some got lower. But it's just an indication, of course, this exchange rate also changes throughout the seasons. And just like, from season to season. But currently, from my estimations, you could say that $1 equals 200 to 220 MFL. So that's significantly more valuable than the 1 USD is 800 MFL. So that's what I just said. So in reality, you could say it's 4 times as valuable. And of course, because you can only earn it, that's also what makes it more valuable. You cannot just buy it on an exchange, on some crypto exchange. So that also gives it more value. So it's quite a valuable asset and it is becoming more valuable. It has become more valuable. Let's also see how this develops, but good to know that. So if you know this $1 is like 200 MFL, how does that then impact your gameplay and the economy and your decision making? I'm going to talk about a couple of scenarios. Of course, in all these scenarios, there's so much context and things changes, but it's just to kind of shed some light on some elements and hopefully change your perspective and that you learn from that in your decision making while playing the game. So let's first talk about the biggest impact is that you just earn more by playing MFL. It's more rewarding. So if we look at my season 5 earnings, that was 325k MFL. If I would, let's say, buy tons of common packs and I could all sell them for that free USD, instead of having like 400 USD, then I would earn 1600 USD because of the value. So that is really a significant increase in earnings, given if you really sell all those packs, but people also buy packs, etc. But you could say it is way more rewarding to play MFL right now. Then the question is, if you have such a valuable amount of MFL, and you could also get so much USD, then what to do with your decisions, how to spend that money wisely, both the fiat currency and MFL. For example, should you buy a rare reward pack? Like, I have a gold team, I want to replace guys who will retire in the future. So what I usually do with my rewards, I made a video, my previous video, I talked about how I spent exactly my rewards. Actually about 5 reward packs, I'm lying on the slide, about 5 rare reward packs. But yeah, they are 47,000 MFL each. So if you use that conversion rate of 200, that's about 235 USD. Then the question is that really worth it? Like, for example, the pool I had is this 20-year-old 77 right winger. I think that you could sell maybe for 235 in the ballpark, so you could say that is worth it. Of course, he also has progression in him, potential, you never know where he gets. But also, I have bought an 82 rated, there you can see it on the right, left wing back who can also play as a left back. I mean, use him as a left back. 23-year-old for 189 USD. So I would say that's like an amazing pool. It's also fresh out of the pack, so someone else pulled him and sold him for lower than that what you could get if you sold them all for common packs. Let's say on float. You get what I mean. So then, if you know this, like, you can pool such a guy or you can buy such a guy on the marketplace. What is then smarter? Is it worth the gamble, or should you maybe sell all your rewards and then shop on the marketplace targeted for some nice bargains? With the new packs, of course, there's more fine tuning. So the lower rares are cheaper. You have the super higher rares, they're more expensive. But yeah, this is like the first case, like, what is smarter to do? Should you then sell your reward packs or not? That's kind of the main question. Should you sell it and spend that money, or buy reward packs and open them? So for example, uncommon reward is 10,000 MFL. If I sell it for, after fees, you get like 43 USD in your depot wallet. So you could open that pack and see what you get. Maybe you get like a high 73, 72. Or you can shop and, for example, get this guy who is 40 USD for 23-year-old striker 69. You could say that's also a pretty good deal. I would be happy actually with that. So then maybe sell it and just buy this guy instead from the market if you don't have that appetite for risk. So it's all about decisions. The other thing you also have to think about is sustainability in contracts. So let's say you buy that guy, 23-year-old, 69 rated striker, 40 USD. This is kind of, I just put some random finishes and percentages. For example, you loan him out for 5% to a mid-table team in Stone who ends 6th. 5% of like 8k on average rewards. Also, of course, depends how well they do in the cup, etc. There's many variables, but let's say you get 400 MFL per season. You earn 12 seasons with average retirement age is 4.8 MFL. That is not enough to buy an uncommon pack, also not a lower uncommon pack, and it's like 24 USD. So then, what do you do? Is that smart, or do you count on the progression that he will get better? You can get more ref for him. So you can also use this value to look a little bit at the sustainability. Of course, you can get a higher ref. You can also buy an older or cheaper guy. For example, for that 24 USD, you can also buy a player on the right who's 27 years old, a 68 rated striker. So you can also then play with age, go higher, lower, but use this, the whole, why I'm telling you this, is use that value, that MFL value in your decision making related to sustainability in contracts too. And then also about selling players. So I just sold this guy. Someone wanted to release him. I accepted that and I thought, oh, let's just sell him. He's already 30-year-old. I still got 20 USD for him. So yes, is that a smart choice? Should you sell all the players, or what I call milk them, like let them play until they retire and get as much MFL out of them as possible? So I sold him for 20 USD. He could play for 4 to 12 seasons. So the minimum is 4 because he didn't announce his retirement yet. Maximum is 12 until 42. On average, he could play 5 to 6 more seasons. So let's say, again, 6% in stone times 6. That's kind of okay. You could get it on the market. Is like 2,500 MFL. Super rough calculation. And that is not even a limited. So I think it's a pretty good sale for me to still get 20 USD for him. So when you have the time, you can try to make these calculations. Like, is it smart to sell my older guys or try to milk them, let them play as much, and then earn that MFL? So keep that in mind when you have a decision to make. So should I sell a guy? Should I buy a guy? Should I open a pack or sell a pack or loan out? There's many different factors, of course. That's the beauty of MFL. There's so many different elements that you could maximize. For example, league and cup performance. You could try to get the most MFL out of a player if you find managers who are great or have great teams that will do well in the cup and in the league. So you could maximize your earnings. But yeah, it can also be a bad manager and you lose some MFL. The progression, the longevity of the player, those all play a role. And the contract market, the ref shares that are being paid also play a role. There's so many variables. The main lesson from this whole video is try to include this real value in decisions. Like, is it worth opening a pack, or is it better to sell it? Is it worth keeping this guy in my agency and try to milk him, or sell him and buy new guys? Use it. And that's really personal. So you can ask yourself those questions, like, if I sell my reward packs, can I buy new players that are better on average? And that can kind of really fit in your squad. That can you buy some new guys that will really help your squad? So then maybe it's definitely worth it. What's your appetite for risk and luck? You can get super young players. You can get like a 16-year-old 74. That's all possible, and that does happen. So what is your appetite? Do you want to have that risk, or do you like to spend money on targeted buys in the marketplace? Do you go for the quantity or the quality? Some people open tons of common packs, and then there will always be a progression wonder in there. If you open 200 packs, for sure one of them will be an amazing progression wonder. So you can go for that quantity, or do you do quality like me and open a couple of rare packs? Is that worth it? And in general, is it worth selling or buying based on this exchange rate? And again, the exchange rate keeps changing. So in conclusion, MFL is scarce, it is special because you can only earn it. And because of that, it's valuable. And in general, it has become more valuable. Based on my calculations, 1 USD now equals 200. So use that to calculate things, use it in your decision making. Whether to sell or rip reward packs, how to spend the money, and calculate your sustainability. In general, with everything, not financial advice, make up your own mind. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I'm definitely not good with numbers usually, so maybe I made some calculation mistakes. But as I said, for the final time, I'll tell you, the whole reason I make this video is just to kind of give you this thought, this tool, like use this in your decision making, and then I think you can really become a better manager. All right, thank you for watching and see you next time.